my beloved child. I have not come to make you tremble with fear, nor have I arrived to confront you with condemnation. No, my heart holds no harshness, only love, only the tenderness of a father longing to rescue the soul of the child he so dearly cherishes. My words come to you today as a sacred alarm bell, a fervent call rising from the depths of eternal fatherhood. Because I see the dangers quietly encircling you, threats your natural eyes cannot foresee. There are paths you are walking that seem reasonable, even promising, but they are quietly drawing you away from the light. I see it clearly, my child. I see you quickening your steps toward a crossroads that ends in a cliff. No one around you warns you, perhaps because they are blinded too, or perhaps because they do not wish to interfere. But I cannot remain indifferent. I cannot stay silent. Because I love you, I must speak. I must call you back. I must take hold of your hand before it is too late. You have lived in fear for far too long, and this fear is no longer just a fleeting emotion. It has become a subtle chain that binds your soul. You fear the unknown, so you hesitate to step beyond your comfort zone, even though that very zone has begun to stifle the life within you. You fear failure, so you turn away from the things I am inviting you into, even though your heart yearns for more. You fear judgment, harsh words, and being misunderstood, so you have worn a mask for so long that even you have started to believe it is who you truly are. But, toi, my child, you were not created for this kind of living. I did not shape you to survive in fear. I formed you to live abundantly, freely, spiritually alive, to walk as one who breathes heaven's breath amid a world parched by shadows. You have been imprisoned long enough behind invisible walls built by yourself and by this world. Now is the time to break them down. Now is the time for me to lift you out of that iron cage and place you upon the wings of a new hope. I know well the silent battles you endure. I see the nights when you toss and turn, with tears falling in the dark. I hear the voiceless cries rising from the depths of your soul. You are not alone. I have never left your side. I have been standing here, waiting for you to turn back, waiting for you to acknowledge that you need me, not as an idea, but as the source of life, as your true father, your unwavering guide. My child, the dangers you are facing should not be taken lightly. They do not appear with fury or threat, but creep in like fog, quiet, gentle, and yet strong enough to distort the course of an entire life. That is why I speak now, not to intimidate, but to awaken you from spiritual slumber. Look closely at the decisions you are making, the relationships you are holding on to, the dreams you are chasing. Are they drawing you nearer to me, or are they subtly leading you away from my light? I am inviting you to step out of the prison of fear, not by your strength, but by my truth. For only truth can set you truly free. And the truth is this: you do not need to please everyone. You do not have to be strong at all times. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to know that I am your shepherd, and I will never lead you to a place where my grace cannot sustain you. If you are afraid of the unknown, know that I am the one who knows all things. If you fear failure, remember that I am the one who can turn every seeming loss into an opportunity for redemption. If you fear the eyes of others, let mine be the only gaze you seek for approval. I do not ask for perfection. I only ask that you come to me with honesty of heart. I will do the rest. I will heal. I will renew. I will lead. Let go of the burden you're carrying. Stop, bow your head, and tell me that you're tired, that you're afraid, that you don't know what to do. And in that very moment, I will surround you with peace that surpasses all understanding. I will speak to you with a voice gentle yet full of authority. Do not fear. I am here. And when you hear that, everything will begin to change, not because the circumstances around you suddenly vanish, but because within you, a new life is reborn, a life no longer held back by fear, but propelled by faith. My beloved child, I see clearly the things that quietly torment your soul, the relentless waves of fear crashing against a heart already weary. You are never alone in this battle, and today, I want you to listen deeply to my words. Not only with your ears, but with a heart that has grown dry from anxiety. I love you too much to remain silent while you live as if imprisoned in a cage of things that are not true. I do not sit high and distant watching you collapse. I am here, near, holding your hand, breathing life into what you thought was dead. You have allowed the enemy to sow seeds of fear into your heart. At first, they may have seemed like fleeting thoughts, gentle whispers laced with destruction, and in your exhaustion you let them stay. You didn't reject them. You didn't uproot them while they were still small. And now, they've grown. Not into life, but into thorns that suffocate your faith and hope day by day. You've begun to fear things I never planted in your heart. You fear walking by faith because you cannot see the destination. You fear surrendering fully because you think if you're not in control, everything will fall apart. You worry about the future as if I won't be there. You carry the weight of your job as though I am not your provider. You wrestle with broken relationships as if I cannot heal them. You count every coin, measure every step, fearing that your finances will run out, your health will fail, that something terrible will happen. You live as if everything depends on you, and that is what's draining you. But my child, this is not the life I designed for you. I did not create you to worry. I created you to trust. I did not form you so that you would carry every burden alone, but so you would learn to rest sweetly in your Father's hands. Whatever you are facing, no matter how real, how terrifying, how complicated, it is never greater than I am. And if you keep your eyes fixed on the problem, you will forget who the problem solver is. You will forget that I silenced storms with a single word, multiplied bread to feed thousands, raised the dead to life. You will forget that this power is still alive, still moving, and still ready to be poured into your life. You are afraid because you have not yet truly believed that I am enough. You believe I love you, but you're not sure I will act for you. You believe I can, but you don't believe I will. And it is right there, at the fragile edge between belief and unbelief, that the enemy inserts more fear. He tells you that if you let go, you'll lose. That if you surrender, you'll be at a disadvantage. But oh, my child, the truth is this. Letting go is the first step to being rescued. Surrender is the path to unshakable peace. Because when you release your grip, you allow me to step in. When you stop trying to save yourself, you make room for me to be the Redeemer I have always longed to be in your life. Beloved, you do not need to strive to turn the tide. You simply need to lift your eyes and say, Lord, I can't, but you can. I do not expect you to be strong all the time. I am not waiting for your perfection. I only ask for your faith, even if it's as small as a mustard seed. I only ask that you be honest enough to say, I am weak, I am afraid, I am unsure, but I choose to trust. And it is there, in that place of weakness, where my power will be revealed. It is from that place of surrender that victory begins. So, my beloved child, do not hold on to fear as if it were something familiar. Do not nurture the seeds of doubt as though they are part of your nature. Do not water anxiety each morning and expect its fruit to be peace. Allow me to enter the garden of your heart, to uproot the thorns that have grown wild, and to plant in their place my promises, my hope, and a living faith that breathes life into your soul. I long to see you live not under constant tension, but in supernatural rest. I desire that you sleep peacefully at night, not because everything is resolved, but because you know I am the one resolving it. I want to see your smile, not because you are without trial, but because you are fully aware that I am with you in the midst of everyone. I want you to walk through life guided by light, not manipulated by the shadows. And, my child, when you begin to live this way, when you truly trust, when you truly surrender, when you let go of what you cannot control, you will begin to see the miraculous unfold. Not everything around you will instantly change, but you will change. Your mind will quiet. Your heart will find rest, and you will realize this. Peace does not come from control, but from knowing who holds everything in His hands. I am calling you now to pause and take an honest look at what's happening deep within. I see that you are weary, and I know that fear has lingered so long that it has begun shaping the way you think, the way you live, and the way you see your future. But I also want you to understand this. If you continue to let fear lead, not only will your heart remain imprisoned, but your divine destiny will be compromised with every hesitant step. Do you see it now, my child? When fear takes over, it does more than paralyze you. It robs you of the peace I promised. It steals the joy that once lit up your mornings. It diminishes the excitement you once felt when thinking about what I placed inside you. Visions, dreams, and sacred purposes designed specifically for you. And the most heartbreaking part is this. If you remain bound by fear, you could miss the very blessings I have already prepared, the gifts that are waiting for you to take a step of courage and reach for them. My dear one, faith does not demand that you understand everything. It simply requires that you know I am faithful. Faith does not need to see every step ahead. It only needs to be confident that with every step you take, I am walking beside you. It is faith that opens doors no logic could unlock. It is faith that leads you to the realm of miracles beyond human comprehension. And I myself will be the light that illuminates your path, even in the darkest nights of your life. No matter your circumstances right now, no matter how unclear the road ahead may seem, I am calling you to stop. Take a deep breath and lift your eyes. Look toward me. Turn your gaze away from all that confuses you and fix your eyes on the one who never changes. For when your eyes are set on me, the shadows will begin to dissolve. When I become your anchor, anxiety will lose its grip. When you trust me, truly with all your heart, I promise I will make your path straight. The roads that once seemed rough will be made smooth. The doors that once appeared sealed shut will swing open. And the dead ends you feared were final will become the sacred starting points of a brand new journey. Do not let fear rule over you for one more day. Do not hand it the reins of your life. Do not allow it to whisper lies into your soul, telling you that you are not strong enough, not good enough, not worthy enough. You are not defined by those things. You are defined by the love I have for you, by the plans I have carefully laid out, and by the endless grace I pour into your life day by day. Reach out your hand. Yes, even now. In your heart, stretch out your hand and take hold of mine. Picture my hand, steady, gentle, always open, never withdrawing. Take hold of it and begin to walk. You don't have to walk far, just one step and then another. I will walk slowly. I will walk with you, and I will carry you if needed. But you must take that first step. Do not wait until everything becomes clear. Do not wait until the fear is gone. It is in the trembling, in the uncertainty, that true faith is born. When you choose to move forward simply because you trust me, I will never lead you astray. Every path I guide you on, no matter how winding, how steep, or how shadowed, has a destination of life, of blessing, of spiritual maturity. The trials you face along the way are not signs of my absence, but opportunities for you to learn to stand firm in me, to discover that I am your unshakable foundation. And when you look back, you will see it was in those trembling steps that I was doing something miraculous. You will see the quiet miracles woven into the ordinary. You will see your heart gently being healed, layer by layer. You will find yourself more grounded in faith, more steadfast in hope, more powerful in love. So, my beloved, do not wait for conditions to become ideal. Begin now. Choose to believe in me, even when everything inside you is doubting. Choose to take that step, even when you don't know exactly where it will lead. Choose to love me, even with all your lingering questions. And I promise you, just as I have promised generations before you, I will never leave you alone. I will walk beside you. I will prepare the path ahead, and I will turn your life into a living testimony that those who trust in me will never be put to shame. My beloved child, the time has come to step out of anxiety and into life. The time has come to leave behind the shadows and walk into the light. The time has come to stop doubting and start believing. And with every step you take, you will not only find me, you will find yourself, the one I destined you to be from the very beginning. A person not ruled by fear, but led by faith. One who no longer walks in darkness, but in the radiant glory of the Eternal One. When you truly place your life into my hands, something miraculous begins to happen, not because your circumstances change instantly, but because your heart begins to change from within. You will no longer lie awake at night counting your uncertainties. You will no longer be tense with the weight of tomorrow's unknowns. You will begin to live with a peace that doesn't come from control, but from trust. I know that letting go isn't easy. I understand that you are used to holding on, used to calculating, used to planning for what lies ahead. But it is that very control that is wearing you down. It is the effort to keep everything in your own hands that has left no room for me to enter. And my child, if you keep clinging so tightly, your hands won't be free to receive what I long to give. When you surrender everything to me, you are making an act of profound faith. You are saying, Lord, I trust you more than I trust myself. I trust your plan more than what my eyes can see. And in that surrender, you will discover a peace that defies reason, not because life becomes perfect, but because you know that the one holding all things is perfect in all his ways. Fear is a silent, yet profoundly dangerous enemy. It does not scream to make itself known, but instead slips quietly through the smallest cracks in the mind. It clouds the truth. It causes you to forget the promises that once set your heart ablaze. It turns your eyes away from me, the very source of life, and locks your gaze onto the things that stir unrest within you. When you fix your eyes on fear, you begin to believe that you are alone. You start to think that you must manage everything by yourself, and in that moment you slowly drift away from the safe haven of refuge found in me. You begin to lean on your own understanding, placing your trust in what is temporary, and from there, you sink deeper into the spiral of anxiety and doubt. But, my child, true wisdom is not found in what your reasoning can grasp. Clarity does not come from vast experience or a storehouse of knowledge. True wisdom comes from me, the one who has seen the beginning and already knows the end. When you surrender, you are not losing control. You are simply transferring it to the one who loves you too deeply to ever harm you, and who holds power too great to ever fail. Look back, beloved. How many times have you feared something that never came to pass? How many times did you rely on your calculations, only to find yourself returning to me with desperate prayers? How many times did you think I arrived too late, only to discover that I had come at the perfect time? These were not coincidences. They were quiet revelations of a profound truth. I am faithful, always and forever. So today, I invite you to shift your focus. Do not look at fear any longer. Look at me. Do not try to predict the future. Walk step by step in the light of my presence. Do not be overwhelmed by what you cannot control. Find rest in my arms, where every storm is calmed and every burden becomes light. Remind yourself, every time you begin to tremble, I have a God who is leading me. Let that truth echo through your soul day and night, and then you will see peace does not come from everything going your way, but from the deep assurance that you are walking in the right direction, guided by the one who never leads astray. Oh, my child, you do not need to carry the weight of everything. You only need to be the one who trusts. You do not need to solve every problem. You only need to step forward and let me do the miraculous. This is the life I designed for you, a life of trust, of surrender, of freedom in the Spirit. And when you live in that space, you step into a life that cannot be shaken, a life rooted not in human strength, but in the living one. Surrender. Trust. Fix your eyes on me, and you will see what I have prepared for you will always surpass anything you could ever build for yourself. You will see that when I am the one leading you, fear no longer has a place. Instead, you will live in the radiant light of my unwavering guidance. For I am not merely your guide, I am the way. And if you walk with me, you will never lose your path. My beloved child, I know that you are fighting not only against the visible battles of life, but also against the invisible expectations that quietly erode your peace. One of the most dangerous things you are facing does not come from the outside, but from within. The burden of perfectionism. It is a sweet yet cruel chain that the enemy has stealthily fastened around your soul. I see you, day after day, chasing after an ideal image of who you think you must become. You keep striving, holding yourself to harsh standards, as if only by attaining perfection will you be worthy of love, acceptance, and the right to be called mine. But my child, that has never been the truth. That is a lie cloaked in moral appearance and false nobility. The enemy knows he cannot easily steal you from me, so he ensnares your soul using something that appears virtuous, your desire to become better. He whispers that unless you do everything right, unless you eliminate all flaws and never fail, you are not worthy of my love, my calling, or my blessing. And you, weary yet still trying, have started to believe that your value depends on how perfect you can be. But oh, my precious one, I have never required perfection from you. I have never loved you because you got everything right. I love you simply because you are mine. Perfection was never the condition for my acceptance. My love has always been the foundation from which your transformation begins. It is in your lack that my grace is revealed most completely. It is when you recognize your limitations that you learn how to lean on me instead of pretending to have it all under control. You have been living under a long shadow of disappointment, haven't you? Always feeling like you're not quite enough. Everywhere you look, you see yourself falling short. In your work, your relationships, even in your spiritual life. You compare yourself to others, always feeling like everyone is moving faster, standing stronger, growing deeper. And because of this, you've forgotten that your journey is not a race. I did not place a stopwatch in your hand to measure how quickly you reach some goal. I placed my hand on your shoulder to walk with you, to love you, and to uphold you. Perfectionism clouds your spiritual eyes, making you blind to the beauty of the present. It steals your gratitude for the small steps you've already taken. It causes you to dismiss the work I've already done in your life, just because you haven't yet reached some self-imposed standard. But my child, every step you take, even the smallest, is precious when you walk it with me. I do not rejoice because you are flawless. I rejoice because you are faithful. I do not praise those who never fall, but I lift up those who, no matter how many times they stumble, still choose to return to me, still choose to rise, still choose to believe. You were not created to live under pressure or in the constant feeling of being not enough. You were created to live in relationship with me, a relationship not built on perfection, but on honesty, trust, and unconditional love. When you fall, I do not turn away. When you wander, I do not close the door. When you are broken, I do not reject you. I am the one who loves you at your weakest, heals you at your most wounded, and calls to you when you feel most distant. Let go of perfection like a heavy coat you no longer need to wear. Take it off and instead clothe yourself in the garment of grace I have already prepared for you. Live as someone who understands that love is not something to earn, but something already given, even in your imperfection. Live as someone who is no longer driven by the pressure to have it all. When you embrace the truth that you don't have to be perfect to be loved, you will begin to experience the freedom I've always wanted for you. Your heart will feel lighter. Your rest will come easier. Your laughter will return. You will lift your head higher. And in that freedom, you will do more than you ever could while being driven by perfectionism. Because you will act from a place of peace, not fear. You will serve from a place of wholeness, not deficiency. And in that place, you will finally begin to live in alignment with the true essence I placed within you from the very beginning. So then, my child, stop condemning yourself. Stop striving to be good enough in the eyes of the world, and begin to see yourself through my eyes, the eyes of the one who sees you, knows you, loves you, and has chosen you. Come closer to me, even when you feel unworthy, for it is in that very moment that you are drawing near to true grace. I do not need you to be perfect. I need you to be sincere, and I, myself, will fulfill what is lacking in you. Will turn what is broken into something of worth, and will create wonders from the fragmented pieces of your life. You are not a failure, not a burden, not someone who is not enough. You are a marvelous masterpiece in my hands, and I will not stop until that beauty is fully revealed, just as I have intended. Believe this truth, and walk not under the pressure of perfection, but in the joy of being loved unconditionally. And when you live in this way, you will find the deepest kind of rest, the kind the world cannot give, the rest of someone who knows they belong, who knows they are loved, and who walks guided by the one who never changes. My beloved child, while you've been caught up in the unending pursuit of proving yourself, I want you to pause for a moment. Pause in quietness and be honest with yourself. What are you trading in this journey? What precious things are being lost along the way? I do not condemn your efforts or your desire to grow, but I see beyond the outer actions. I see the weariness forming in your soul, because you are placing your very existence on the scales of performance. You've come to believe that your worth is measured by achievement, by the approval of others, by that fleeting feeling of having finally arrived. But my child, that very belief is quietly draining the life from your soul. You are trading peace for productivity, trading my presence for worldly validation. You are running, not because you've been called, but because you've been driven. Driven by the fear of not being enough, by the need to prove yourself, by the illusion that just a little more effort will finally satisfy you. But in truth, the more you run, the further you drift from where you're truly meant to be, because you are not running toward me, but toward an image that is not real, a fleeting sense of fulfillment that will never be complete. I see you counting every accomplishment, every compliment, every milestone as if they are proof of your worth. But child, you have always been worthy, not because of what you do, but because of who you are in me. You don't have to earn acceptance through sweat and tears. I gave it freely to you when you were still dust being formed. I loved you before you could do a single thing for me. And I do not love you more on the day you succeed, nor less on the day you fall. My child, you were never created to live like a machine producing achievements. I did not form you so that your value would only be recognized when you reach something the world considers worthy. You were created to live in a loving, free relationship with me. You were made to be present, in love, in truth, in the nearness of the one who formed you. But when you are caught in the cycle of do more, prove more, you live as if my love must be earned, instead of received by faith. I hear your sighs each night, my child. Those quiet moments when the world falls silent, yet your heart still wrestles with the lingering questions. Have I done enough? Do others see my worth? Is God pleased with me? And I want you to know this. I'm not keeping count of how many times you've tried to prove your worth. I am waiting for you to sit down, to let go, and to allow me to love you without conditions. I do not need you to be perfect. I need you to be present. I do not need you to be impressive in the eyes of the world. I need you to be honest in the eyes of your own soul. If you keep living as though your value is determined by your results, you will never truly feel fulfilled, because there will always be a higher goal, a better version, someone who seems to be doing more, someone to compare yourself to. And that comparison is a slow-acting poison. It steals gratitude, joy, and contentment from the present moment. You will constantly feel not enough, even when you've attained what you once believed would be enough. My beloved, I did not call you to live that way. I called you to live from a place of rest that comes from complete trust in me. I want you to release the burden of trying to be someone in the eyes of others, and simply be who you are. My beloved child, the one I have chosen and lifted up, not because of performance, but because of faithfulness and a sincere heart. When you live this way, you will feel lighter, your heart will expand, and you will begin to live from a place of fullness, rather than a place of emptiness, seeking to be filled. Sit with me now. Lay down every piece of evidence you've gathered to try to prove your worth. Let me embrace you. Not because you have done well, but simply because you are mine. Let me remind you, blessings do not come from how fast you run, but from walking in the right direction. And the right direction, my child, is always toward me. You do not have to do more to earn my love. But when you truly know that you are loved, your actions will begin to flow from a place of freedom, from a place of peace, from a heart no longer bound by doubt. And the things you do, when rooted in true love, will always bear beautiful fruit. Not because they make you worthy, but because they are the overflow of a soul that has discovered its true worth in me. So, my precious one, let go. Stop running. Let me lead you into rest. Let me be the one who affirms your value, not the world. And you will see, in every slowed breath, in every surrendered moment, a new life will begin to sprout. A life no longer ruled by performance, but nurtured by the unconditional love of a Father who never changes. And in that life, you will no longer feel the need to prove yourself, because you will know, deep within, that you have always been loved, always been chosen, and always been held. My dear child, I see the way your eyes keep turning toward those around you, as if silently measuring your life against someone else's standards. You watch their steps, their achievements, the praise they receive, and something unnamed stirs within you, a quiet doubt, whispering that maybe you are moving too slowly, that perhaps you've lost your way, that your worth has been dimmed in the vastness of this world. You begin to wonder, Why am I still here when they have gone so far? Why are my dreams still unfinished, while others seem to achieve everything so effortlessly? But my child, stop and listen to me. I did not create you to be a copy of anyone else. I did not call you into a race with no finish line, a race where comparison crushes joy and steals peace. I created you with a divine design, woven out of my own love and wisdom, unlike any other, untouched by the trends and tides of the world. Every heartbeat of yours is a beat of destiny, guarded by my hands. Every step you take, no matter how slow, is leading you to the place I have prepared, a place where my glory waits to meet you in a way no one else can replace. Do you not realize, my child, that when your eyes are fixed on someone else's journey, you unintentionally neglect the seeds of life quietly growing within your own soul? You see flowers blooming in someone else's garden, yet fail to notice that within the garden of your heart, the seeds I planted are also stirring, waiting for the appointed season to burst forth. You are not late. You have not been left behind. You are simply being prepared, more thoroughly, more intentionally, for something great, something that, if it arrived too early, would crush you under its weight. I know when you are ready. I am never slow, nor am I in a rush. I am always perfectly on time. Comparison is a distorted mirror. It prevents you from seeing yourself clearly. It makes you forget what I have intricately placed within you. Deep gifts, sacred desires, and qualities that are uniquely yours. It makes you chase after what only looks like success, but in truth is hollow and misaligned with your soul. I did not design you to live a borrowed life, to survive under the light of others while forgetting the light I placed inside of you, my beloved. I want you to look at yourself with the same eyes of love I use when I look at you every single day. You don't need to rise to become like someone else. You only need to grow into the very design I handcrafted for you. Your path is a one-of-a-kicked melody. It does not need to harmonize with another's to have worth. You were born to release your own sound, one that isn't drowned out by any other voice. Be grateful for your journey, even if it has yet to yield the fruits you long for, because it is precisely along this path that I am teaching you what others may never learn: patience, humility, faith in the darkness, and courage when no one is watching. These are the true foundations for a life that is unshakable and radiant, not moved by shifting winds or the fleeting applause of people. Remember this: true light does not need to strive to be seen. It simply shines where it was placed. And at the right moment, those wandering in the shadows will be guided by your presence alone. You don't have to race to prove yourself. You only need to be faithful to what I have placed within you. And when you do this in love, you will find yourself light, free, and restored. Do not let your heart be shaken by the rhythm of others' steps. Fix your focus on the rhythm of my heart beating within your spirit. Let me be your compass, your clock, your song in the silence of the journey. When you stop gazing outward, you will begin to see what is unfolding inside, and from within, new life will break forth, assurance will be restored, and divine purpose will reignite. Come back to this truth, my child. You are not falling behind. You are being refined. You are not forgotten. You are being hidden in my hand until the day I bring you forth to shine among the nations. You are not lacking. You are simply being led on a different path, a path of depth, stability, and unwavering faith. And you, my beloved, will be a living testimony to the world that those who hope in me will never be put to shame. So, do not envy what others possess. Do not compare when their harvest arrives first, for your harvest is also coming, and it will be unlike any other. It will be full of glory, because it has been watered with tears, nurtured with faith, and born from your steadfast devotion to me. Do not rush. Do not grow weary. Keep walking forward. For I, the one who began a good work in you, will bring it to completion at the appointed time, and on that day, you will understand why everything took longer, why it unfolded slowly, yet so deeply and enduringly. I am still walking beside you, and though your steps may feel slow, in my eyes, every single one is a great stride of courage. You have not been abandoned. You are being written into a story far greater than anything you could imagine. And at the end of this path, the light of my glory is waiting to embrace you with open arms. Listen to me with your whole heart, for these words come from the deepest place of love I hold for you. I know there is a quiet struggle within you, a tug of war between the desire to live fully and a nameless fear that urges you to retreat. You've been living cautiously, as if every step must first be approved by perfection. You've been so preoccupied with fixing yourself that you've forgotten. I never asked you to be perfect to be loved. It is through your cracks that my light can enter and reveal the true beauty of grace. But my beloved, the perfection you are chasing was never something I required of you. It is an illusion, a shadow painted by the world that has exhausted so many souls who chase it in vain. And as you run after it, you may not realize that you are slowly losing the most precious gift I have given you, a life of freedom filled with peace, joy, and divine purpose. You have been refusing the living water I prepared for you, simply because you believed you weren't good enough to receive it. You must be careful, for fear, when left unchecked and unhealed, can become an invisible chain that binds the soul. It quietly erodes your trust, causing you to doubt yourself and even my calling on your life. It convinces you that your efforts will never be enough, that you must do more, try harder, strive further in order to be worthy of my love. But my child, that is not the truth. I love you not because of what you accomplish, but because of who you are. My beloved creation, formed by my breath, bearing my image, and chosen by me before you even knew how to believe. When fear takes over, it doesn't just hurt you, it opens a door for the enemy to come in. He doesn't have to destroy your life in an instant. He only needs to steal your peace little by little, dim the light within you, and plant doubts about the very goodness that flows from me. The enemy doesn't always tempt with blatant sin. Sometimes he simply distracts you from true love, lures you into striving to become something, and keeps you from embracing who you already are in me. And over time, this slow drift pulls you away from the source of true life. Think of the mornings you wake up carrying invisible burdens, weighed down by anxiety over what could go wrong, about how others see you, about acceptance, failure, and the ever-growing pressure of expectation. This is not how I want you to begin your day. I did not place you in this life to live under the constant fear that you are not enough. I did not call you to chase after human standards and forget that I crafted you to be wholly different. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to earn validation from anyone. You don't need to exhaust yourself trying to uphold an image that leaves you weary. All you need is to step into my arms. Release the false standards, and let me remind you that you have always been enough in my eyes. I am calling you to a life of abundance, not a life without challenge, but a life where, even in the midst of storms, you stand secure in a peace the world cannot take away. But you cannot enter into that abundance if you continue to let fear lead you. You cannot receive the fullness if your heart is torn by the voices of the world. You must choose to live by the call of grace or to live under the pressure of fear. And I know there were moments when you tried to walk by faith, but it only took one rejection, one failure, one harsh word, and you began to retreat, as if those things had the power to define you. But no, my beloved one, those things are not your true identity. You are not defined by success or failure, by what others say or how they look at you. You are defined by the everlasting love I have for you, a love that is unshakable, unconditional, and unchanging. Look back for a moment and see what fear has stolen when it took the driver's seat. Dreams you once laid aside, relationships you let slip away, opportunities you turned away from simply because you thought you weren't ready. You have, unknowingly, withheld from yourself the life I had written for you on the pages of grace. But today I am calling you back, not to blame you, but to redeem you, not to judge, but to heal, not to push you into a cycle of striving, but to return you to the rhythm of unconditional love. My child, it is time for you to pause and listen to me with your whole heart. It is time to stop running from yourself, to stop avoiding the sacred voice that has been echoing within. It is time to lay down every burden you were never designed to carry, and to step into the freedom that only I can give, because I am still waiting for you. And your life, when fully lived in the grace I offer, will become a living testimony to the world that true love has the power to liberate the soul from every chain. You will not only rediscover yourself, but also uncover a new path, the path of life, of light, and of a destiny that no one but you was ever meant to fulfill. My beloved child, let my words echo within your soul like a gentle breeze across a barren desert, like a stream of cool water through a thirsty land. For what I am about to say is not only truth, but healing balm for the deepest places within you. You have lived far too long under the pressure to become something the world calls ideal, to speak flawlessly, to appear strong in every decision, to be successful in every way in order to be considered worthy. But hear me clearly, my dear one. The standards of man are not a true reflection of your worth. Those standards are fragile masks that shift with time and often place unbearable burdens upon the shoulders of the innocent. I did not place that weight upon you. I am not looking for spotless perfection in you, because I know you could never attain it in your own strength. I am not calling you to prove your worth through performance, praise, or achievements. On the contrary, I am calling you to draw near with a heart that is honest, uncovered, and unmasked. I am inviting you to step out of the armor of effort and exhaustion and return as my beloved child, honest about your wounds, your stumbles, and the sighs that escape you in the dark of night. You do not need to hide anything from me. Your pain does not repel me. In fact, it is in those very places of brokenness that I will pour in my healing oil It is in the dry places, those you've long believed to be barren and beyond hope, that I will cause new life to spring forth. You do not need to gather strength to approach me. You only need to be real. Simply believe that I am the one who has always been waiting, arms open wide, never turning away. The world will never stop telling you that you must do more, go further, and become better. It will whisper into your ear that if you don't hurry, you'll be left behind. It will teach you how to brace yourself, how to suppress your tears, how to deny your emotions, and how to abandon your true self just to fit into its cold and rigid molds. But my child, I have not called you to live by the urgency of the world. I have called you to listen to another voice, a voice of love that is gentle, yet powerful enough to break every chain. The voice of unrelenting grace that continually calls you back home. And when you choose to listen to my voice, I will give you something no one else can ever purchase: true rest for your weary soul. You will no longer have to pretend you're okay while carrying cracks within. You will no longer need to hold up a strong exterior while deep inside you're yearning for a place to collapse and cry out loud. I will be that place. The place where you can let go, where you can sit down, exhale, and know that you are still loved. Even when you're doing nothing at all. It is in that very moment when you stop striving to become someone else that you begin to truly become who you were always meant to be, the one I crafted with eternal love. And then, as you rest in my love, you will experience something wondrous, something that no logic can explain, a peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace not tied to circumstances, a joy not rooted in possessions, a confidence that storms cannot shake. You will enter into a life not defined by achievements, but by divine guidance through all things. You will see my presence not only in mountaintop moments, but also in the smallest, quietest things. In the morning dew, in the soft light on the path you walk. And you will come to realize true happiness is not found in achieving every dream you've ever sketched, but in knowing that every step you take, whether slow or fast, is held within an unchanging love. Each day you live, whether peaceful or stormy, is a new opportunity to see me by your side. Every trial, every hardship, becomes fertile ground where I teach you lessons no book could ever capture. The strength of a soul anchored in unwavering love. My child, I want you to live fully, not in stress, not in pressure, but in true connection with the one who created you. I want you to know this: you are not defined by what you have yet to accomplish, but by the love I have already placed upon you. You are not shaped by the opinions of others, but by my eyes. Eyes that always see you as precious, chosen, and irreplaceable. So today, pause, don't rush. Lay down every voice that has worn you out. Let your heart be still, and hear me whisper to you once more, like a gentle melody. I do not need you to be perfect. I need you to be faithful. I do not need you to be strong all the time. I need you to draw near to me, for I am the one who will be strong on your behalf. My beloved child, in the midst of the chaos and turbulence that seem to darken this world, I want you to never forget this unshakable truth. You have a refuge that cannot be moved, a place untouched by the winds of life, and that place is where I dwell, I am the solid rock upon which you can lay the foundation of your life, the fortress that stands firm when all else crumbles. Though the world may change, though everything around you may turn upside down, I remain unchanged. I am still the one who has loved you from the beginning, and I am still the place where you can return at any moment, no matter the condition of your heart. I see every tear you shed when no one else knows you're hurting. I hear every prayer you whisper in the stillness of the night, believing no one is listening. I understand every burden you carry, every longing you hold in silence, and every fragile hope you're protecting in the midst of your doubts. Nothing escapes my notice. Not a single plea from your heart is meaningless. Not one act of courage goes forgotten. My heart is moved by even the slightest movement of your soul. Your worth, my dear child, is not measured by what you can accomplish, nor does it depend on the praises or recognition of others. Your worth lies in your very existence, a presence I have marked with eternal love. You are my creation, woven together with wisdom that transcends time. A beloved child I chose even before the foundation of the world. Every breath you take, every beat of your heart, is a testament to a life that carries sacred purpose. I do not desire for you to merely survive your trials. I long for you to flourish, to grow in faith, and to be fully restored. I want more than your endurance. I want your ascension. I want more than for you to just make it through. I want you to soar. You were not made to blend into the shadows of life. You were made to shine, to be a light in the darkness, a bearer of hope to the weary, a bringer of life to the desolate. And when you feel lost in the crashing waves of life, when your dreams lie shattered in your hands and you no longer know which way to turn, do not seek answers in the noise. Lift your eyes, my beloved. Lift your gaze beyond the fears, beyond the failures, beyond the labels others have placed upon you. Look to me, for I am not far. I am not hidden behind clouds. I am right beside you, not as a distant, unreachable power, but as a loving Father who knows you more deeply than you know yourself. I have not come to make you afraid or timid, but to walk you through the darkness with a hand that never lets go. I am the one who wipes your tears, the gentle whisper of comfort when you are alone, the warm flame when your soul trembles in winter's chill. I do not demand that you always be strong. I simply want you to know that you are allowed to be vulnerable with me, and that doesn't make you any less valuable. In fact, it is when you collapse into my arms that you will discover true strength. It is when you admit you cannot carry on alone that I can lead you into the realm of miracles. I know there are moments when you want to give up. There are nights when you place your hand over your chest and no longer feel the heartbeat of hope. There are days when you question whether you still have enough strength to believe in goodness. But my child, those are the very moments when I am closest to you. Do not think I am only present when you rejoice. On the contrary, when you are broken, when your heart is cracked, when your soul can do nothing but groan in silence, I draw nearer than ever. I am not afraid of your shattered places. I do not step back from your brokenness. I come to gather every fragment, to hold them in my hands and to shape them into something more beautiful than ever before. You are not a burden to me. You are my joy. You are the reason I wait with patience, the reason I keep knocking on the door of your heart, sending signs, gentle reminders and whispers of love amid the noise of life. Just open your heart, even just a crack, and I will enter. And from that place I will begin a restoration that no one else can accomplish. I will renew your soul. I will breathe new life into the places where motivation has faded. I will lift you up, not to push you harder, but to teach you how to live in a new rhythm, the rhythm of grace, of peace, and of a faith reborn from the ashes. My beloved child, if today you find yourself at the very edge, know this: it is not the end. It is the beginning of a new journey, one in which I walk beside you. And once you place your hand in mine, you will never be alone again. I will not abandon you halfway. I will not let go of you when the waves rise. I will go through it all with you, leading you to a land of hope, where new dreams are sown, and greater things await you ahead. My child, draw near to me, even if you do not know how to pray. Just breathe. Just be still in my presence, for sometimes words are not needed. I understand even what your heart has not yet put into words. I hear the cries you dare not speak, and I will respond not only with answers, but with myself, with nearness, with peace that defies understanding, with a calm that surpasses every human explanation. The world will offer you 1,000 pieces of advice, 1,000 ways to deal with pain, but only in me will you find true rest. Only in me will you find calm in the whirlwind of life. For real peace does not come from the absence of problems, but from my presence in the midst of them. And true joy is not in smiling wide, but in knowing that even when the tears fall, you are fully held in the arms of the one who will never let you go. So when the burdens of life weigh heavy on your shoulders, when the things you do not understand feel too much to bear, when you feel like a flickering flame in the wind, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and call my name. I will come. I do not always remove the storm, but I always strengthen you in it. And then you will find yourself moving forward, not by your own strength, but by the power of a love that never changes. Let me be your strength. Let me be the resting place for your soul. And from that place, I will restore you. Every fragment, every forgotten dream, every part of you that once felt lifeless, I will breathe life into what has withered. I will turn pain into testimony, tears into rivers of blessing. For I am the one who began a good work in you, and I myself will bring it to completion, in fullness and glory. My precious child, I see clearly every burden you carry on your shoulders. Not a single thing done out of love, out of faithfulness, out of a desire to care for those you hold dear, goes unnoticed or forgotten by me. I treasure every small but sincere act, those nights you stayed up late to silently pray for your family, those moments you smiled while your heart was weary, those quiet sacrifices no one saw, but I know them well. I know that you do not live for yourself alone, but for the happiness, safety, and dreams of those around you. You have been a shelter for many souls, a shield for others in the midst of storms. And today, I want you to know that I too am your shelter. You have become a pillar, a gentle light in your home, a steady hand that always supports, protects, and loves. But because you keep giving, keep carrying, you sometimes forget that you also need to be loved, to rest, to be refilled from the source of life. You do not have to hold everything together forever. You do not need to pretend to be an unshakable mountain when all you long for is a shoulder to lean on. You do not need to prove to the world that you are strong, for before me, you are allowed to be weak. I do not require relentless resilience from you. I simply call you to come close to me, so I may become your renewed strength for each day you live. I see the weariness that sometimes hides behind the calm mask you wear each day. I understand what it feels like to be alone in a crowd, to have to be strong for others to the point that there's no room left to breathe for yourself. My beloved child, I am here, not to reprimand you for being tired, but to wrap you in my arms and say, "Rest in me, my child." You don't have to carry this alone. Each day that you wake up and keep going, even when your heart is trembling, is a living testament to the courage I placed within you, and I will not let that courage be in vain. Each sunrise is a gift, a new beginning that I grant you, so you may pause, take a deep breath and reflect, not to scold yourself for what you haven't done, but to remember that you still have the chance to draw closer to me, to love more deeply, and to be restored by me. I want every morning to whisper this truth to you. Today, you are not alone. Today, I walk beside you, and in my presence, you will find what money, fame, or human effort could never provide. True rest, wisdom that transcends reason, and unconditional love reserved just for you. I do not merely desire to bless you with what can be seen and touched. Though I am fully able and willing to meet all your physical needs, what I long to give you runs deeper. A heart that remains at peace in the middle of a storm, a mind that sees clearly amid countless crossroads, and a soul that stands firm even when the world is shifting. I want your inner being to be filled with a joy that is untouched by circumstances, a joy born from intimate connection with me, the one who never changed. You have spent your life thinking about others. Now let me think about you. Let me tend to the parts of you that you've forgotten, the small dreams you traded away, the emotions you packed away in order to appear strong. I don't just want to wipe away your tears. I want to restore what you've sacrificed. I don't merely want to comfort you. I want to renew the life within you. I don't want you to simply survive. I want you to soar in the freedom I've prepared for you. And do you know this? As you draw nearer to me, you will no longer need to strain yourself to manage everything. You will learn to release your grip so that I can take hold. You won't have to worry about every outcome, because you'll come to know that I'm working even in the things you cannot control. When you rest in me, you will witness the wonder of what I can do through your very weakness. It is precisely in the moments you feel emptied that I will pour into you. It is when you recognize your own limits that you will begin to touch the limitless power of mine. My beloved child, now is the time to open the door of your heart once again. Not to force yourself to be stronger, not to brace yourself and push through, but to let me in. Into those hidden, quiet corners where you've stored the things you never dared speak aloud. I did not come to judge you. There are corners of your heart that have been forgotten for too long. Old wounds, though you thought they had faded, still bleed in silence. Words once spoken, wrong choices once made, opportunities that slipped away, relationships broken beyond repair. They are still there, still haunting you in the silence of the night, still causing you to wonder each day. If I had done things differently back then, would everything be better now? But my child, I do not want you to go on living in the shadows of regret. I did not call you so you would endlessly punish yourself with silence, with hidden guilt, or with nameless shame. I have come to set you free from all of that. I am your Savior. I did not only carry your sins on the cross, but I also bore the silent pain you carry deep within. I have seen your doubts, your moments of weakness, the times you collapsed under the weight of it all, and even the times you turned away from your own faith. Yet I chose to love you still. I chose to forgive. There is nothing you could ever do that would cause me to stop loving you. Nothing in your past is powerful enough to change my mind about the future I have prepared for you. My grace has no limits. It does not run out after your third mistake or your seventh fall. It does not retreat when you turn away. It keeps flowing, steadily, patiently, and without measure, waiting for your return. You do not need to strain or prove yourself worthy to receive forgiveness. Forgiveness is a gift, and I gave it to you long before you even knew how much you needed it. And now, what I am inviting you to do is to let go of the burden of self-condemnation, so that your hands may be open to receive the gift of peace. Let my peace reach the deepest places of your soul. Do not keep it outside the door of your heart. Let it enter every hidden room, every shadowed corner you have kept closed off from others. It may be a memory of someone who wounded you. It may be the shame of a decision you regret. It may be the ache of a missed opportunity you wish you could go back and change. It may be a quiet anger you've never dared to admit, or the fear of being abandoned, misunderstood, or dismissed. Let me in. Not to inspect or to judge, but to heal, to dry your tears, and to whisper to you one unshakable truth. You are still loved. There is still hope for you, and I have never left your side. If you truly believe in me, if you call me Father, then trust in my promises, not only when everything is going well, but especially when nothing seems to make sense. Do not trust in the light only when it is daytime. Learn to believe in the light even while you are surrounded by darkness, because I am the light that never fades. In the very moments when you feel the most hopeless, I am already preparing something good. In the places where you feel the most abandoned, I am quietly at work. Even when you cannot see, I am still moving. Even when you cannot hear, I am still speaking. Even when you cannot feel me, I am still near. Believe that there is an answer, not a temporary escape or a fleeting comfort, but a divine solution, crafted specifically for you, released at the appointed time, in the perfect way, with power and purpose. I do nothing halfway. I do not abandon the journey I started with you. I do not awaken deep longings in your heart just to leave you in silence. If I have made a promise, I will fulfill it. If I have planted something within you, I will bring it to harvest. So, my child, stop blaming yourself for the past. Stop living in fear of what has not yet come. Let your heart open wide to receive my love. Let my light flood every shadow still lingering inside of you. Do not doubt anymore. Do not worry anymore. You are not too late. You have not been forgotten. You are not outside of my divine plan. You are in the palm of my hand, and nothing, no pain, no failure, no darkness can ever remove you from there. My precious one, never forget that the road ahead is not simply something to survive. It is a sacred journey filled with hope, marked by love, and carried by my very presence. Every step you take, every heartbeat within you, every breath you draw is not taken alone. I am walking with you, not as a distant figure watching from afar, but as a devoted companion, a father holding your hand tightly, and I will not let go until the day you come home into my arms, to the place where you truly belong. Do not let your heart be deceived by the pressure to become perfect according to the world's standards. I have never required perfection from you in order to love you. You do not need to meet some ideal image in order to be worthy of my presence. Even when you were still clumsy, still weak, still wrestling with yourself and with reality, I chose to love you. And that love is not conditional on performance or status. It is rooted in an eternal truth. You are my child, born from holy intention and redeemed at a cost beyond comparison. My dear one, do not rush forward so fast that you forget your own soul along the way. Do not let the longing to be complete become a burden that weighs down your spirit. The perfection you chase will only blur your vision and cause you to stumble over unnecessary obstacles. Your journey is not a competition, it is a companionship. It is a process of growing in love and mercy. It is falling down and still being lifted, losing your way and still being led home. You do not need to arrive without flaw. You only need to keep a faithful heart, one that is willing to be molded, healed, and sustained by me. I know your heart deeply. I see the cracks behind your smile. I understand the inner battles no one else sees. I hear the cry of your soul whenever you feel like you're not enough, when you are disappointed in yourself, when emotions carry you too far and you return in quiet regret. You don't have to hide that from me. I have seen it all. And what I do is not turn away, but open my arms wide, not to accuse you, but to embrace you, not to recount your failures, but to remind you of grace. For I do not seek a flawless heart. I seek a heart that still repents and still believes that my love is greater than any mistake. Forgiveness is not something you have to fight for or earn. It is a gift I am willing to give every time you return to me. My grace is not limited by the number of times you fall. It is made for you, for those moments when your strength fades, for the times you need just one more chance to begin again. And I want you to know, not just once, but every day, every morning, every time the first light brushes against your face, I am saying to you again, you still have a chance. I am still here. I still love you, as I did in the beginning. Each morning is a miracle. When you wake up, it is not just a biological rhythm. It is a sign that I have never stopped hoping in you. It is the warmth in your chest, the soft light spilling through your window, the gentle sounds of a new day. All of it is me whispering, calling you into a fresh beginning, not to repeat the cycle of exhaustion and striving, but to walk into a new day with me, a day opened by new mercy, a chance to live more deeply, love more truly, and believe more boldly. If you have ever thought that what's behind you makes it too late to begin again, let me rewrite that belief. There is no past I cannot redeem, no failure I cannot transform into a lesson of growth. I am not only the one who wipes away your tears, I am the one who can turn those tears into seeds for your next harvest. I do not only comfort you in pain, I turn that very pain into the foundation of a bolder, deeper, more faithful life. So now, my child, take a deep breath and let go of what you are still clinging to that no longer serves you. Lay the past down at the foot of the cross, where I already bore all your shame and guilt. Look ahead, not with eyes clouded by fear or regret, but with hope and holy expectation. Take my hand and walk, slowly but steadily, for I will never leave you, not for one moment. And when night falls, when every light has been extinguished, when there is no one left for you to lean on, know this: I am still awake, watching over you. I am still guarding you. I still place my hand gently upon your forehead as a silent blessing. I do not walk with you only by day, but I remain with you in your darkest hours. Because you are my child, and I will never cease to love you, never cease to uphold you, never stop waiting for the day you fully believe. My love is the safest place to begin again. My beloved, what I have always sought in you is not flawless perfection, nor achievements that impress the world. What I truly long for is a faithful heart, reverence that flows from sincere love, a soul that, though tossed by many storms, still chooses to turn toward me with honest devotion. I know you are not always strong. I know there are moments of weakness, moments of wavering, seasons when you feel lost. But in the midst of that challenging journey, I do not focus on the stumbles. I look at the posture of your heart. Are you still seeking me? Do you still desire to return? Your heart belongs to me. I have called your name among the multitudes. I have sealed your soul with my love even before you were formed. But dearest one, love cannot be forced. I can extend the invitation, but you must choose to walk. I can offer the opportunity, but it is you who must reach out and take it. The freedom I gave you is real. It is the power to choose between right and wrong, between loyalty and denial, between living for the light or drifting into darkness. And because I love you, I will never revoke that freedom. Yet I still yearn for the day you use it to choose me, not from fear or pressure, but through personal commitment and a love-filled surrender. I did not give you life so you would merely drift and survive like a rudderless vessel tossed about in the sea of worldly illusions. I breathed into you my very breath, the fire of heaven. Not so. It would be snuffed out by the chaotic winds or the deceptive voices of this world. Every cell in your body, every drop of blood in your veins is proof of a deliberate, loving design. You are not the product of random. You were not born to live a mediocre life, simply existing from day to day. You were created to rise, to reveal the glory of the one who formed you, to live a life marked by eternity, and to sow the seeds I have planted in you. I did not design you to merely survive each day, but to shift the atmosphere of an entire region by the weight of your spiritual presence. You were not born just to cope with life, but to reign in the authority I have given you, not to be overrun by the waves, but to stand upon them, like one who knows they have been sent with a purpose and heavenly direction. You do not need to know everything in order to be faithful. You only need an undivided heart. You do not have to be extraordinary to catch my attention. All I desire is a steady spirit, one willing to obey and take the next step, even when the path ahead remains unclear. For I will be the light to your steps. I will be the cloud by day when you pass through deserts, the fire by night when you walk through the darkness. I will be the whisper in the silence, the thunder when your soul needs awakening. And every time you choose to remain steadfast in me, I will open doors no one can shut. My beloved child, the commitment I ask of you is not a chain. It is a sacred bond between the Creator and the soul fashioned by love. It is a covenant etched upon the heart, not an obligation forced from the outside. You are not a slave to the law, but an heir to the kingdom. That is why what I desire from you is not forced duty, but a sincere love that flows into action. Every faithful step you take, every time you choose truth over deception, is a testimony to the spiritual maturity blossom. Remember this. I have seen you in every moment that no one else witnessed. When you resisted what was wrong even as your heart trembled, when you chose silence instead of retaliation in anger, when you closed your eyes to pray instead of letting fear take the lead. None of these moments are small to me. They are the very stones you are laying in silence, building the path toward the ascension I have prepared for you. Do not be deceived into thinking that faithfulness guarantees a smooth life. Loyalty does not exempt you from trials, but it assures you that you will never face them alone. It does not stop the winds from rising, but it guarantees you a steadfast sail. It does not remove every battle, but it promises victory through the one who has called you. So today, if you feel like just a drop in a vast ocean, know that I never let anything in you drift away without meaning. I remember every act done in faithfulness. I treasure every prayer whispered in the quiet, and I will cause your steadfastness to bear fruit in the right season at the right time and in ways far beyond what you have asked or imagined. You were crafted with the precision of a holy hand, and I long to see you bloom, not because the world needs one more strong figure, but because the world needs to witness my glory through you. I did not call you just to survive. I called you to rise, to soar, to live a life that reflects the divine in the midst of the ordinary. And I will walk with you to the very end, until the true homecoming arrives, and you stand before me with no more tears, no more exhaustion, only fullness and everlasting peace. My beloved, today I invite you to do what your soul has been longing for. Let go. Let go of every fear, every burden, every weight that has kept you restless through the night. Let me be the place where you lay down everything you no longer have the strength to carry. Do not push through another day pretending you must manage it all alone. I never designed you to bear loneliness like that. I created you to live in deep communion with me, and it is in that very place where your strength will return, where your peace will flow again, and where hope will rise from where it once faded. Let your fears rest in my hands, not to be ignored, but to be healed. I know the things that simmer within your heart, the visions that make you tremble, the questions that remain unanswered, the concerns about the future that leave you uneasy. But beloved, it is precisely in the moment you dare to surrender those fears to me that you will begin to feel the lightness of a bird released from its long-hidden cage, because I not only know, but I also hold the power to change, to guide, and to shield. You don't need to understand everything in order to be at peace. You only need to know that I am here, and I will not abandon you. Let your strength be restored. Perhaps you are so tired that you no longer even realize it. You've kept going, task after task, bearing the weight of responsibility, holding up the image of someone strong. But within, you are fracturing. I did not create you to live in that state of depletion. I created you to know what real rest feels like, to experience what it is to be lifted up, to be renewed by the source of life that never runs dry. You do not need to find your own strength. I am your strength. Let me restore you. Every cell, every thought, every heartbeat within your chest, crying out for stillness and renewal. And when you allow my peace to reign within your soul, you will witness something miraculous. The world still turns. Challenges still exist, but you are no longer shaken. Because my peace does not come from everything becoming easy. It flows from my presence. When I am with you, you will walk through each circumstance without being swallowed by fear. You will navigate the foggy days with a steady light burning inside you. You will live with a heart wrapped in my love, a love that never wavers, never retreats, and never fades away. Walk with me, my beloved, not in haste or anxiety, but in quiet peace, like one who knows they are walking in the right direction with the right guide. I have not called you into a never-ending battle. I have called you into a journey of victory. Not victory because you are strong enough, but because you have learned to fully trust in me. Every step you take with me is a step closer to the fullness you were destined for, a step closer to your truest self, the one I created with a high and holy purpose, the one I still believe in, even when you doubt yourself. Believe this: you are not wandering aimlessly. I have a plan for you, a plan that is not vague, not subject to the shifting of circumstances, not disqualified by your past. It is a plan filled with life, filled with hope, and saturated in love. I am not leading you into the wilderness to abandon you. I am not calling you out of your comfort zone just to leave you disappointed. I am calling you to lead you to a place of true rest, a place where you can simply be, no longer guarded, no longer striving to prove your worth, a place where you can drink deeply of living waters, lie down in green pastures and hear my voice whisper through the breeze. You are mine. You are enough. You are unconditionally loved. Give me those quiet worries that linger in your heart. Don't carry them any longer. Don't let them take root in your thoughts, wearing you down, stirring anxiety and leaving you feeling lost. Place them in my hands. The things you cannot change, the people you cannot control, the situations that rob your sleep, the dreams that seem too far to reach. I know exactly what to do with them. I will carry that weight, and in return, I will give you a lightened heart, eyes wiped clear of tears, and a soul spacious enough to love fully and live freely. I have not come to place more burdens on you. I have come to lift them off, to remove the weight, the worry, the nagging sense of not enough that has followed you for years. And in its place, I long to give you a new kind of life, a rhythm not ruled by pressure, but guided by grace. A life no longer defined by fear, but overflowing with joy even in affliction. A path not paved with roses, but one that is always accompanied by me. My precious child, do not delay. Do not believe the lie that you must fix everything before drawing near to me. Come just as you are, raw, weary, and honest, because that is the version of you I love most deeply. And if you let me in today, I promise, your tomorrow will be different. You will not merely survive. You will live deeply, live boldly, and live freely. My dearest one, in the midst of life's relentless rush, in the thick of crowded calendars and invisible responsibilities weighing on your shoulders, I have only one small request. Give me a moment. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be polished. It only needs to be sincere. Even a tiny portion of your seemingly too short day, if offered to me, will become a sacred space. A place where I can enter and begin my wondrous work of restoring your soul. You do not need to wait until everything calms down. You do not have to wait until you feel good enough or holy enough. Come to me even when your mind is tangled, your heart is weary, and your breath is but a fragile rhythm amid the chaos. For if you would only open your heart, if you would simply invite me in, I will take care of the rest. I will reach into the parched places of your soul and pour out the waters of life. I will gently lift the burdens from your shoulders, not with overwhelming force, but with tender love and enduring grace. Do you know, every time you pause to commune with me, every time you grow still in the midst of your day, to whisper a prayer, or offer a quiet cry from your heart, you are stepping into sacred ground. It is in those simple moments that I fill you with a peace the world cannot comprehend. I will calm your thoughts, dispel the fog of anxiety, and grant you clarity from the deepest place within. A wisdom that surpasses human understanding, a knowing that flows not from striving, but from abiding in me. I do not merely desire to soothe your soul. I long to completely transform the way you live, the way you see the world, and the way you perceive yourself. I yearn to turn what feels like a burden into a foundation for miracles. The tears you thought were signs of failure, I want to turn them into seeds of joy, waiting to bloom in due season. The quiet anxieties you hide behind your smile, I want to remove them and replace them with living hope. A hope not built on circumstances, but anchored in my unchanging promises to you. I do not promise that you will never face hardship, but I promise that in every hardship, you will never be alone. More than that, I will use each trial as a tool to shape you, to refine you, to mold you more into my likeness with every passing day. The very things that once brought you to your knees, if you place them in my hands, will become shining testimonies of my redeeming work in your life. I do not discard any broken piece of you. I gather them all and bring forth goodness, even from the depths of pain. Do not think that my desire is merely to bless you with material things. Though I am able to provide for all your needs, what I long to give you most is a life truly made whole. I want your soul to lack nothing. I want your heart to overflow with love, with forgiveness, with abiding peace, and with unshakable joy. I want each day you live to be shaped by the sacred purpose I have placed within you from the very beginning. You were not created just to survive each day. You were made to live with purpose, to breathe under divine direction, and to walk in wisdom that flows from heaven. Remember, what brings me joy is not ritual nor outward perfection, but your honest heart reaching for me. When you praise me not merely with lips, but from the simplicity of your soul, my heart rejoices. When you pause amid the noise to whisper, Lord, I'm here, please lead me, heaven leans in to listen. I love the sound of your voice calling my name. I treasure every moment you lift your eyes from the world and turn toward me, like a child searching for their father. I am the source of all that is good. Nothing truly precious ever comes to you without first flowing from my hand. Every opportunity, every comfort, every small joy in your day, all of it begins in my love for you. So do not forget me in your success. Do not overlook me when all is well. And above all, do not distance yourself from me when your heart feels like a storm, for in every season, in every state, I remain unchanged, the safest place for you to return, and the warm embrace forever waiting to receive you. My beloved child, today choose to give me a portion of your day. Let prayer no longer be a duty, but a refuge. Let worship be more than a ritual. It is the very breath of your soul. Let my presence become the true dwelling place where your spirit finds its home. And I promise you this, when you make that choice, everything else will be added unto you, not in fleeting human ways, but in the fullness, abundance, and enduring grace of heaven. Now, bring before me your heartfelt prayer. You may begin like this. Lord, I lay down every fear that I have carried for far too long. The fear of failure, the fear of the future, the fear of judgment from others. These have made me shrink back, afraid to walk in the calling you've placed over my life. But today, I declare that fear no longer holds power over me. Holy Spirit, fill me with boldness and peace. I long to live freely, courageously, and fully in your love, not shackled by invisible chains of anxiety and confusion. Lord, I confess that I have allowed perfectionism to cloud my path. I have strived endlessly to be flawless, and in that pursuit, I have lost the joy, the rest, and the vibrant awareness of your presence. Forgive me for pushing myself to meet standards you never asked of me. Today I choose to lay down the harsh demands and step into your grace. Teach me to love myself the way you love me, with patience and wholeness. Lord, I have often wearied myself by comparing my life to others. I have set my eyes on their journey, forgetting that you have designed a unique and sacred path just for me. Forgive me for the envy, for the ungrateful eyes, and for the joyless heart that failed to cherish what I already have. Today I choose to fix my gaze on you, to be thankful for the journey you have marked out for me, and to rejoice in the calling I have received. Lord, I don't want to be defined by my achievements, failures, or the image this world tries to impose on me. I want to be defined by the truth that I am your beloved child. Please remove every false label, every burden I've placed on myself. Restore in me a right understanding of my true worth, that I am created in your image and loved unconditionally. Lord, I have spent so long running, chasing success, approval, and things I thought I needed. But the more I ran, the more exhausted I became. Now I return and fall into the arms of your mercy. Grant me deep rest within my soul, not because of what I do, but because of what you have already finished on the cross. I rest secure, knowing your love requires no proof. Lord, when I cannot clearly see the future, Give me faith to keep moving forward. When others seem to be advancing faster, grant me a steadfast heart that will not grow weary. When the voices of the world grow loud, help me hear the gentle whisper of your Spirit within me. I choose to trust that your plans for me are good, and at the appointed time, you will fulfill them. Lord, just as Peter stepped out of the boat in the middle of the storm, I too want to learn how to walk by faith. Even when the waves rise high, I choose to fix my eyes on you. Uphold me when I am weak. Take hold of my hand when I stumble. I no longer want to sink in fear. I want to stand upon the waters by faith, drawing nearer to you with every step. Lord, I thank you for never abandoning me in the whirlwind of fear, false perfection, and endless comparison. I thank you for your love that always arrives right on time, never allowing me to stray too far, never letting me lose myself. I thank you for reminding me that I don't have to be good enough to be loved. I only need to be myself in the embrace of your grace. May my heart always live in gratitude, and may my life be a hymn of praise lifted unto you, the one who saved me, healed me, and called me into the abundant and everlasting life. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If you love the Lord, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of the life-giving, meaningful messages from Him. Together, we will grow in faith and live a fulfilled life in His love. Amen.